We welcome you into the season preview for Carlow men's volleyball here on the Carlow Sports Network. Sean Meyers joined by Val Pennington, the one and only coach in program history, now year number 4. And once again, thanks for doing this. How's everything going with you?
Oh, great so far. Thanks for having me. I always look forward to this time of year. So.
Well, I know you look forward to getting the season underway. We've got a few matches already underway here for the Celtics. How have you evaluated the team's play in the early going?
We've had a little bit of attrition and a bunch of new guys and some new roles. So we spent the beginning part of the season just kind of acclimating these guys to their roles and being on the court and getting ready for our conference, the part of our schedule to start. Hopefully those guys will be ready. I think they are. I'm seeing a lot of growth and improvement every day.
Well, I know a big area and a big time for growth is the off season. So for the guys, either they were incoming or that were returning from a year ago, what was their focus for improvement throughout the off season?
Just like anything, you want reps, and I try to stress to the guys, get as many reps as you can, many touches as you can, whether it's here or whether it's elsewhere. I've got some gym rats, some guys that love to play volleyball. They play a lot of outdoor volleyball in the summertime, in the grass, in the sand, whatever. So I know a bunch of these guys got a lot of touches. They play tournaments, they play doubles, and it really shows in their skill development. So it's quite exciting to see.
I mentioned year number 4 for you and for the program as a whole. Thinking back to where it started, where have you seen maybe the biggest areas of progress?
I think just getting experienced volleyball players and not really having to kind of train them how to play the sport. I've had some lesser experienced guys in the past, and now, I'd have to say like every person in the program comes from some kind of volleyball background at least, and that makes the job a bit easier.
Thinking back to last year's team, you graduated a couple of key guys in Cole Chafee and Hunter DiStefano. What void did they leave, and what maybe do you remember about them most?
Well, those guys were, foundational parts of the program, both of them, from the very first year. Not only a strong physical presence in the gym, but also a strong vocal and leadership presence. Hunter DiStefano wasn't very vocal, but he was a very strong leader in his presence. Even now, I still hear about from some of the older guys how much they really looked up to him and his work ethic, and how he was. I don't know if I've ever had a harder working kid in 35 years of coaching volleyball on whatever level. So Cole, we would have been able to have a team without Cole the last few years. I mean, he really kind of helped hold it all together. He was like a glue guy. He organized a lot of the open gyms and hosted those, and in the unofficial off-season activities, and he really kind of made it happen.
So those guys move on, but you returned quite a bit from last year. Who are the notable returners that you count upon?
We've got a number of returners, but I'd say it all boils down to the big two. Our fortunes pretty much ride with those guys, Russ Zyprowski and Will Piccolino. They're the combination of both vocal leaders, physical leaders, emotional leaders, spiritual leaders. They're the heart and soul, the literal beating heart of the program. Russ is a tremendous ball player, to the point where even some of the teams that we play against, I'd have to say almost every coach that we've played, every team that we've played against, has come up to me afterward and go, wow, that number 8 is something special. Honestly, if he were 4 inches taller, he'd probably be playing Division I volleyball somewhere. I mean, he really is that talented.
So you have some new guys that come in to augment this group. What do you think of the newcomers, and what are the expectations collectively?
I recruit guys with the expectation that they hopefully can contribute right away. We're really kind of expecting our new guys to contribute right away to kind of offset some of the losses of personnel that we've had. Ryan Callahan's been great. He was a primarily a back row setter in high school, and now he's being expected to play front row in a different kind of role, and he's really been quite a pleasant surprise. I've got a couple of guys that I'm sharing with basketball that I haven't been able to get in the gym yet, that unfortunately I won't see until basketball season is over, but we're looking to really get those guys in the gym, and they can be a presence as well.
Well, you talk about sharing with another sport. It seems like a lot of your roster, they're multi-sport guys, whether that be in high school or even now collegiately here at Carlow. Pros and maybe cons that come with that.
Well, the pros are, I've always, I've come from a generation that was prior to all the sport specialization. It seems like now in every sport, be it football, basketball, guys or girls just focus on the one sport and they kind of play it year round, and that's where the expectation seems to be now. Back when I was growing up, there's almost nothing that you didn't play, and so I like having sort of that athletic diversity. It teaches guys a lot of different skills and different footwork and body motion, and that you can really that's universal. They can apply to anything. I know even the basketball coaches over the years have really loved guys that play volleyball because they feel like it improves their basketball footwork, just the discipline of playing volleyball. So there's things that other sports can really contribute to, just like their overall athletic well-being.
Celtics now move into the AMCC for the first time, and it's kind of a hodgepodge because you have teams that are in the AMCC for all sports, and then you have some others that come in from the PAC for men's volleyball. When you look at the landscape, I know you've played a lot of these teams previously. How do you kind of handicap it?
Coming from NAIA to NCAA Division III, I think it's a better fit for us. You talk about a hodgepodge. NAIA is all over the place. I would say some of the NAIA schools that we've played in the past are so incredibly talented. I had no idea that level was full of as much talent as it is. And some of those NAI teams that we play can compete very well with some of the top level Division I teams, I feel. So that was kind of a mismatch for us. But the teams that we're playing now in the AMCC are, I think, a really good fit. We're right on their level, and I think we're gonna compete really well against this level of play.
Outside of the conference, what were some of the goals and objectives with the non-conference scheduling?
Outside of conference, I try to play a pretty tough schedule, tougher than what we'll see in conference. I feel, like they say, iron sharpens iron. So, even if those are matches that we lose in the pre-conference portion of our schedule, I feel like there's a lot to be learned from that. So far, we've played a couple of really tough teams. Last weekend in a team from Wisconsin called St. Norbert, and a team called Hobart from up in western to central New York. Very, very, very difficult teams. Big, strong, large rosters. Hobart in particular returns the reigning NCAA Division III Player of the Year, two-time the first team All-American. So when you go up against that type of competition, it really kind of lets you know where you are. And we fared really well against those teams. So I'm very, very satisfied.
What are the objectives this year?
The objectives of this year are to learn, to grow. I'm really always more of a process-focused coach than results. Because if you worry about the results, I think that's kind of short-sighted. But if you go through the right process and everything, the results will happen. So right now, I think that we're going to do really well in our conference. I think we aren't rated where we're at. We're going to really surprise a lot of people.
Let's talk about the coaching staff you have around you, roles and responsibilities of that group.
Well, those guys, they're really great and positive. I feel like a lot of my job as head coach is kind of administrative, but I also, am the sort of skills leader and set the tone as far as, the style of play. I come up with all the training regimens and all of that, and I really rely upon my assistants to kind of augment that, be a sounding board for me. I'm pretty secure in the directions that I want to go in, but I like to have people that have their own opinions, that aren't afraid to, kind of bounce off of me, maybe some things that they see that I don't, and they relate really well to the guys as well. I think I've got some great personalities, and Steve Smetana and Nigel Washington, they're fantastic.
Lastly, what is your favorite aspect of this year's team?
I think I hate to compare them to previous teams, but I think this team in particular, they're having a lot of fun so far, a lot more so than I've seen in the past, perhaps, and that's great. I think I had quite a bit of talent last year, but for whatever reason, it just didn't come together. There may have just been bad fits in personality, just for whatever reason, it just didn't work and it didn't click with that group. This group of guys, they all seem to like each other. There's definitely no beefs between them. There's nothing getting in the way, no obvious obstacles emotionally. And I heard them talking about, I think after our first or second match, how much fun that they had and how much they really enjoyed it. And I've always stressed, hey, I want you to have fun. I want you to have the right kind of fun, and what I mean by that is, playing the game the right way, and maybe squeezing a few victories here and there. That's my idea of fun. But winning isn't everything, right? But I think we can do it a bit of both, and I'm really looking forward to that this year.
I'm looking forward to the season as a whole once again. Val, thanks for doing this. As always, we appreciate the time, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you, Sean.
That is Val Pennington, head coach of the Celtics, here on the season preview. And we continue the season preview for Carlow men's volleyball, now joined by Josh Lee, a sophomore middle hitter for the Celtics. First off, thanks for taking the time to do this. How's everything going with you?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I know that you already have this season underway, and I want to talk about that momentarily. But first, let's rewind to your freshman season. How did you evaluate how you played last year?
I went back and basically just looked at my stats and seeing where I could grow and what I could improve, and I kind of just went based on that and just went up.
So I know you said you looked at the film last year and kind of evaluated how you played. Where do you need to get better? What were the areas of focus for getting better throughout the off season?
I felt like I just needed to get quicker. So going to the gym and doing cardio and getting the muscles on my legs bigger and stronger kind of helped me be able to get quicker and move that block.
Well, let's talk about the workouts, the exercises. Is it really primarily leg-based to improve, and what in particular do you need to focus on to excel in volleyball?
I feel like it's not mainly, but it is a main focal point since I'm constantly jumping and doing things with my legs. So I do a lot of running and lifting for my legs, but I do want to work out my arms so I can hit harder and stronger.
I know last year was a tough one for the Celtics overall, a winless season. Obviously, that had to come with challenges. How did you and your teammates try to navigate that rough season?
We just tried to figure out what we could do to improve together. So fixing our communication or just fixing small things like our sets or anything. We just tried to work it out and talk it through so that we could hopefully come out with a win. I
know we mentioned you're a middle hitter.
Yes.
And so what are the responsibilities and the specific aspects that come with that position?
On the defensive side, I'm more so there to be a obstacle for the other team so that our defense doesn't have as much work. So then again, back to me getting quicker, you have to be able to close the block so that your defense can do what they can do. So just putting up a block and having a strong offensive attack helps as well.
Is that a position you're used to playing?
Yes, I played it since I started playing in high school.
So I know you have some newcomers to the program, some freshmen, some guys who have entered Carlow. What have you seen from that group?
I think they're a really good group. They have a want to play, so like that helps, and like their teamwork and like communication kind of just helps us because we lack communication, so that kind of helps that they bring that.
Let's talk about the goals. What do you have in mind for the team and for yourself individually this season?
As a team, I hope we can come off with a few wins. Personally, I feel like I just need to work on getting more offensive attacks and getting my block up since I've been working on it throughout the off season. But other than that, I feel like that's it.
Season just got underway recently. I know that now the Celtics are in the AMCC, a new conference. Is there any matches that you're looking forward to in particular?
I personally am looking forward to Chatham. I think they're a pretty good competition. I feel like we could beat them.
It's a good little city rivalry you have as well. Before you came to Carlow, you competed in the WPIAL at Penn Hills. Did you know any of your current teammates before you got here?
I did not.
Is it something where it was an easy transition to meet and become friends with a lot of these guys?
Yeah, having like summer practices kind of helped because I got to see like the other freshmen and like see the team. So like that kind of helped me acclimate what was going on. So it kind of was an easy transition.
Lastly, what's your favorite part of attending Carlow University?
I like the faculty here. They make everything like really welcoming and warming, and just to make sure that you be the best self that you can be.
Well, hopefully we see the best of you throughout this entire season. Josh, thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
That is Josh Lee, a middle hitter and a sophomore for the Celtics here on the season preview. We roll along here on the season preview looking at Carlow men's volleyball. I'm now joined by a freshman on the team, Ryan Callahan. First off, thanks for doing this. How's everything going with you so far as a freshman?
Good. I know classes have been pretty good. First semester was great. Getting used to college sports, so I feel pretty good about everything.
I know early on this season you got in a few games already. You've played in 3 matches. How have you evaluated your play to this point?
It's been pretty good. I know I'm still kind of getting back in the groove after not playing for a little bit, but it's coming back to me pretty quickly. I feel like my defense could use a little bit more work, but I've been picking up a good amount of digs, and then I'm newer to being a hitter and not so much a setter. So I think that's like a big adjustment too. But I think I've been doing pretty good. Considering
Well, for any freshman, it's a major transition
Yeah.
from high school level volleyball to collegiate. What are some of the biggest adjustments you or anyone has to make?
Definitely the speed of the game in college is a lot faster. The opposition, that's a lot faster. You gotta react quicker because 1 second you look for a ball, the next it's on the floor. So it's definitely a lot quicker. And I know the biggest adjustment that I had from high school to Carlow is a smaller team, and people playing roles that they've never played before. So that was a big thing because we always had we had multiple guys for one position, and then coming here, there's not that many. So I think
Got to be well conditioned for that.
Yeah.
I know you're a freshman. I'm sure that there's some older players who have helped you and the other freshmen. Who are the leaders for this team?
I know the biggest two, in my opinion, are Russ and Will. They're the older guys, so it makes sense. They've been playing for a good bit. Will takes a lot of the lead. He kind of, he makes sure we know what we're doing, we're where we're supposed to be. And Russ is just that he's the guy to go to. Like he's our power hitter. He'll put the ball down, and he's just fun to play with. I know another leader for me, Jimmy. He's been very helpful to me in terms of setting, just placement and where I'm supposed to be on the court. So we have some good leaders on the team.
What are the objectives that you have for yourself and for the team collectively?
For the team, it's just having the chemistry with each other, working off of one another, coming together, making sure we're supporting each other. Individually, my objectives were just to kind of relax myself. There's not a lot weighing on me, so I know I have a little room for that. But I think just kind of focus on my play, make up for my mistakes if made, not look so much on those, just kind of play every point like you're winning, like it's game point for a win. Those are pretty much my objectives for the season.
Let's talk about the coaching staff, Val Pennington and his assistants. What are the best qualities of that unit?
They're good. They're great coaches. They're fun. They're fun to be coached by. They sometimes have their moments where they're on us about something, but I think that's what every team needs from a coach. I know their coaches are down to earth. Like they're not always screaming. They're not always mad or anything. They're very supportive, especially of us new guys too. But yeah, I mean they're great. They're great with us. They know how to talk the game. They know how to put us in the right direction. And I think my high school coach was great, and so it's nice to kind of be handed off to another great coaching staff as well.
What led to your decision to come here to Carlow?
Definitely the campus. The campus is beautiful. It's nice and small, and it's perfect for me. I think when I first came on campus, I felt at home. So I knew I needed to be here. And definitely an added bonus was that they had a men's volleyball team. Most of the other colleges I went to did not have a team. So it kind of worked out. But yeah, the campus is beautiful. The people here are nice. The professors are amazing. So it's all around just a great campus.
When did you get into volleyball?
Back in the 4th grade. So I've been playing a good bit of my life. I know my older brother was playing in middle school at the time, and I liked the way the game worked, and there were camps around back home, so I kind of just jumped in there and I got to it, and I was told that I was meant to play. I picked on it that quick.
Lastly, fill in the blank. This will be a successful season if
we all work together, we all communicate. It would be nice to pick up some wins to bring home for Carlow, and just working with each other, building off of each other, just having fun. I'll be happy with this season as long as I'm having fun, and I'm having fun for the most part.
Well, hopefully the fun continues the rest of the season. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
That is Ryan Callahan, a freshman for the Celtics, here on the season preview.